In this movie, I wanted to talk a little bit about cleaning up your library. It's one of the requirements of your notebook, and it's also just a good general practice when you're working with Flash. So if I look at my library now, I've got quite a bit of stuff in it, and sometimes I like to just sort by, you can sort the content in here by various methods. I like to sort by type, and that just gives me a visual of like how many graphic symbols I have, how many movie clips and sounds, etc., etc. And if I had buttons, they would be in here too. So I see already that I've got a couple of things called symbol 1 and symbol 2. And because I always name my symbols, that's suspicious, and they look an awful suspiciously like the eyeball symbol. But let me start by saying we're going to do this removing unused symbols. So I'm going to click right here, and of course it's going off screen. Let me move this menu over so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, that should help us. Whoa, yeah, that should help us. All right, so I'm going to go select unused items. And what it's going to do is highlight anything that's not being used in my movie. And even though it's usually pretty good, I like to take a look at it and make sure. Now the other thing is you can see if there's a 0, this is not being used anywhere in the movie. And so objects that have numbers, I'm a little more suspicious of. But just for the sake of expedience, I'm going to just go with removing the things that they're saying to remove. So I've got them selected. All I need to do now is hit the trash can. And it says, do you really want to delete 33 items? Woo! Well, okay, yes I do. I'm going to clear them. And this is not my preferred view of library. Let's make it skinny again. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look at what we've got left in our library. Wow, a lot less stuff. So I still have this mysterious symbol that looks like it's the same thing as the eyeball. I'm not seeing that it's animated or anything unique. So chances are I made an error at some point, and maybe I tried to do a tween before this was created as a symbol. Let's find out what the situation is. So it says here that I'm using it 2 times. And what I'd like to do is find those 2 times and replace it with the eyeball so that I'm not duplicating this symbol and creating a little more memory in my project. The easiest way to do that is to use something called the Movie Explorer. So I'm going to open up the window and then go to the window, the panel, whatever you want to call it, called Movie Explorer. And inside Movie Explorer, it's showing me in each scene what symbols are being used. Now, you can look for text, you can look for action scripts, you can look for all sorts of things, but I've got symbol selected. And just in case yours isn't set this way, I'm asking it to show me all of the scenes. Excuse me. So, looking at that again, all scenes, I want to look in each of these scenes for the symbol called symbol 2. And I see right here, it looks like in my prefab bounce 2, I've got a symbol named symbol 2. So let's go right to that, and it even shows me what frame it's in. So I'm going to go to my scenes and choose prefab bounce. Actually, it shows it this way. If you click on different scenes, it takes you there. So there, and it's telling me that symbol 2 is appearing in frame 1 and in frame 76. So let's close this up now that I know where it is, frame 1, frame 76, and click on this, frame 1. Lo and behold, when I look at my properties, if I have this selected, it's telling me this is movie clip symbol 2, definitely not eyeball. So what I want to do is swap it for the symbol eyeball and say OK. And now it's swapped it for eyeball, but it still retained its characteristic movie clip. Let's go over to frame 76. That was, remember, if you watched the prefab bounce lesson, that was where I started a new sequence with the same symbol. I just had copied it from before. So sure enough, that is symbol 2. I'm going to swap that for the eyeball. And now if I take a look at my library, which I've closed, and I can see that the symbol 2 has 0 uses, I can then, if I can either just throw it away, or I can do this select unused items again, and sure enough, it's not being used. I can throw it away. And now the only things that are in my library, other than this empty folder, are things that are being used. Another empty folder. It doesn't eliminate empty folders, unfortunately. So now we've got a nice clean library. Just the items I'm using are in there, and I'm ready to save again so that I've got this cleaned up version instead of the one with all the extra stuff. Woo, look how fast that saved. Nice.